What's up, everybody? It's George Gabriel, and this is I Fix Your Mix, Part 3. Now, in Part 1, we set up our session. In Part 2, we addressed the stereo drum track that needed some help. But in this part, what we're going to deal with is the fake acoustic guitar. Now, there's two aspects of this that we are going to deal with. Number one, this song centers around a guitar solo that is in the center. And at the same time, this fake acoustic guitar is actually also in the center. So it steps on the guitar solo. But beyond that, it's fake and it's noticeably fake. So what we're going to do is we're going to record a new guitar part using a real acoustic guitar, and we're going to double it, and then we're going to widen that to clear out the center so the guitar solo can live in the middle. Also, some other things you'll learn from this video are several ways to streamline the process using gear, how to set your input gain, a few acoustic guitar tips, a way to record not using comp recording, how to set up the acoustics, bus, and auxiliary effects, tips on retiming for latency, and editing together multiple takes. Let's get started. Okay, so we're here in Logic, and this is kind of where we left off. The drums and the bass, I'm adding this acoustic guitar in, but let's just take a listen to what the acoustic guitar is doing. See, it's not happening really. It's also very quantized sounding. It's playing chords that a guitarist wouldn't play. This is what we're gonna address. So what I'm gonna do is first start and mute this acoustic guitar. I'm gonna use Command D to open up a couple of new acoustic guitar tracks. And I'm gonna make these mono. And what I'm gonna do is dial in my Neve preamp. And that is where we're gonna get started. There are ways to streamline the process. And if you watched my video on the Nectar Pacer pedal, one way to streamline this process is to use this pedal to record. Why? I want to keep the same position, so if I mess up, I can use my feet to record, to stop, to even strip silence. So you should check out the video because that's a huge time saver. But the second thing I'm going to do is use a small condenser mic on my acoustic guitar, and that is going to be in a position that is fixed. Let me show you. Now, if you watch my other video on this piece of gear, this little clip that you add onto your acoustic enables you to have it in the same exact spot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this through my Neve preamp, and I'm going to just check and make sure the sound is the way that I want it. This has got to be a soft acoustic part. Actually, even the pick that you use is important. I'm using a nylon. It's a little softer approach. And because really what I want to have is this like... It's just a nice soft sound. If you use too hard of a pick, you're going to get a lot of pick noise. So what I'm gonna do is I've set up my Nectar Pacer pedal, and I have the mic exactly where I want it, and I'm basically gonna use my foot to control the session. So I'm gonna find my spot using my keyboard, and I'm gonna check my levels using this fader here. See, you reset your little thing here to make sure that you're peaking at like -3. You want to get a good level. -6 is good too. You really don't want to peak more than -3, but not much less than -6, because then if you want to raise the acoustic guitar or raise your audio track, whatever you're recording, you're also raising the noise floor. So let's go ahead and use my foot pedal to get me in. This enables me to be tied to my guitar, but I'm going to first start hitting record on my keyboard. That kind of sets the spot for the foot pedal. Okay, so when I mess up like I just did, what I use is F5. It gives me a second track of that same track, and I can kind of hear what I messed up. So I'm gonna start right there, and I'll just punch in. Okay, again, I messed up there. So I can use my strip silence on my foot pedal, and that strips it for me. I just move that right up. See how that punches? Perfect. Okay, let's take it from there. All right, messed up there. And we'll move this up. We can fix this later, but I'm just gonna go ahead to the next part here. Oh, guess that goes again. Okay, strip silence. Again, use my foot. Go back a little bit. Okay, I messed up that last chord. Let's take that. I'm going to bring the solo in because I think it's better for us to be informed what's going on with the guitar solo. I'm going to open this up a little bit so we get a little bit more of the nuances here. Save that. And now I'm going to basically move this down to the other track. And I'm going to pan this other track basically a little bit, let's just say 40 to the right. And then I'm going to pan what I'm working on 40 to the left. I'm going to add the solo back in, and I'm going to add this little guitar violin sweep thing so I can hear what's going on and I can kind of work with that. So I'm going to go back and lay the second one down. All right, take me out of record mode, and there we go. So I'm going to move this off of my body. All right, so now we have this all kind of settled in here. The good thing about having these acoustic guitars is you don't have to be like totally perfect. The whole purpose of having a real acoustic guitar is to be nuanced. You got the two guitars are going to be slightly off from each other, might be slightly playing different things. They're there to support the guitar solo. That's really the name of the game here. So let's just solo these two and see what we have. All right, so I have these on my acoustic bus. So now what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to throw a little compressor on that. And as you may be aware, I really like this Empirical Labs distressor. And I'm going to go ahead and get a acoustic guitar. Let's just kind of audition some of these. This is a little bit more of a washy setting, where this is more clean. Haven't quite decided what I want yet. You can still see it's hitting pretty hard here. So I'm going to just use this clean one, but then I might go back to the acoustic guitar one. It just depends. I don't want them to be too present. Actually, I'm going to go back to the acoustic guitar. I think that works better for this. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually put some reverb on this. So I'm going to take both of these, go to my sends, and I think I'm going to use the Effects 3, which happens to be a nice little plate reverb. And what I'll do is I'll take these two and I'll start sending the signal. I might want these a little bit wider, so I'm going to move them to 50. Again, you don't want to get too crazy with the EQing and all that stuff until you have it in context. So let's unsolo these and just see what this feels like. Nice. Now, just to A-B what we had before. Yikes. Go back to this. Now, one thing you gotta realize in this is latency. When we are playing something live, it's going to the acoustic guitar, to my mic pre, into the audio interface, then it's coming back, and then I'm hearing it. So there's a little latency there. And what I tend to do with this is I will take these two performances, I'll go into my delay, and I tend to delay them a little bit. Why? Because we wanna hear it when we're playing to be in line with the track. But what happens is we inadvertently play a little ahead so it lines up. So I try to correct this by using the delay to realign that. So I want to bring it behind. What I want to do is go plus 20 clicks because that will delay my performance as it plays back because I played a little ahead. So let's go ahead and do that and see how that feels. Perfect. So now what I want to do is I just want to go to each of these tracks and make sure all these little punches that I did because I wasn't playing the parts right or whatever, that they properly go into each other. So what I'll do is I'll go to my screen 3 and take this and just listen to each one of these transitions here. So you just hear a little flub there. So very simply, you can do a little crossfade and see if that works. Perfect. And we'll go to the next one. Okay, again, just a little bit. What I might do is actually might take this a little earlier because I start playing there. Perfect. And I like to trim these too, because sometimes you get some weird things happening in Logic. So like this comes in here, and I want to trim this to here. Let's go ahead and take this in on this. Let's see, put our little crossfade in there. Check this out. Perfect. Now I usually put a nice little fade into this. I want these acoustics to kind of fade out. I kind of plink along the way here. Let's go ahead and do that with that second acoustic track, which was actually the first acoustic track. So first I'm going to trim this, get a nice in. I'm going to look where I got in here. I'm going to go ahead and trim this, and I'll probably bring this in somewhere around here. Let's see what that sounds like. So this one was pre-lapped. Let's see what happens. Performance was slightly different. You're never going to pick that up. Let's go ahead and do this here. And again, I like to trim this side. Just do a little crossfade. Nice. Go onto this part, come in here. So I'll go a little bit further in, maybe somewhere in here. Little crossfade. Perfect. Same with this. Let's go ahead and do this here. Maybe I'll bring it back a little bit here. Okay, and then finally this. See what this sounds like. There's a little twirliness there. So again, it's better if you edit this like this, then you can actually take the two of these and move them together. Let's take this out and take this out. Perfect. All right, now let's listen to that in context. Now we know, like, this is a solid acoustic guitar part, sounds perfect. And just for housekeeping purposes, I like to do acoustic guitar left, acoustic guitar right. Let's get rid of this old part and just delete this track. Go back to our screen 2. And that's it in a nutshell. It's safe to say that anytime you replace a fake something with a real something, it's going to be a better result. It's also safe to say that anytime that you have plenty of things going down the center and you have one thing that you want to accentuate or be the focus of the center, it's important to clear those other things out of the way. We did that with putting a real acoustic guitar, doubling it, and widening it, making it nice and soft, having those nuances that a real acoustic guitar brings. And that is what is going to set the center up for success for that guitar solo. So on part 4 of this, the strings need a bunch of work, and there's a solo cello part that we're going to also address. And we might write some new parts in that as well. So definitely come back to check that out. I hope you like this video. If you do like it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button, click the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Also, follow me on Instagram at GGabrielMusic, and check out GeorgeGabriel.com. I can fix your mix, and maybe your mix will be the next mix that I fix. I'll see you on part 4. Until then, this is George Gabriel Music.